everyone, what is going on? It's Swift Assassin 33, and you guys probably noticed in the beginning of this video, I had an intro. That's my first video that I've made with an intro, and I was kind of sitting around today, doing nothing, and I was thinking, man, I'm seeing pretty much all the big YouTubers, they have intros in their videos, and it kind of sets the tone for the video and how it's gonna be, like it's gonna be a great video. And maybe I should make one. Wow. Because then people would want to view the continue watching the video, since it kind of sets the tone for the pace of your video. And so I made one, and if you like it, tell me if you like it. Leave a comment below. What can I do to make it better? But in my opinion, I think it's pretty good. And whew, just looking at it right now, it's sexy, man. Anyway, so also in my intro you noticed that there was the Twitter logo there, the twatter, so I can tweet. Yeah, anyway, you should go follow that. I'll put the link to that in the description. It's pretty nice. I set it up about a week ago and I haven't really done anything with it yet, but then I decided that I would announce that I am going to be doing stuff with it. So go check that out. That's where I'll be pretty much uploading videos, and when I have enough subscribers, I'll be telling you when I'll be on and having subscriber sessions on the Xbox or PS3, and I'll also be uploading my other videos from there too. So yeah, you should go follow me if you're subscribing to me, but if you're not, I recommend you subscribe so you can follow my Twitter. Anyway, what I really wanted to talk about in this video was I just got back from Washington, D.C., and that was a lot of fun. We went with pretty much all of our classmates. There was only about 10-15 people that didn't want to go for some odd reason. I don't know why. That trip was fun. And I want to talk about some of the things we did, some of the funny things that happened. And so yeah, let's start it off by saying, like, the first 3 days of our trip, we were not actually in Washington, D.C. We were in Virginia, because in social studies we studied, the colonial, stuff, the ancient stuff, and, actually we didn't really study that this year, but we studied that last year, like what we did, the colonial settlements, the 13 colonies, all that, right? Learned that in like 6th grade. And so basically, we went to visit like all of the settlements such as Jamestown, Roanoke Island. We went to visit some really historical places there in Virginia, and that was pretty fun because, like, when we went to visit the settlements, not a lot of stuff was found on the settlement itself, but all of the stuff that was found was put in the museum that was pretty close to the settlement, and we would go look there for everything instead of just like searching for it on the settlement. They would preserve all of it in the museum, and we would have to go look there for it. And they had a ton of interesting stuff. Like, they had like original money that was found. Museums have all the original stuff. Like, they don't have really that much stuff that's like remade in the museums. Museums are because that's what they're used for. So they're supposed to preserve history, and we basically saw all original artifacts, or money, or even some bricks from the original churches and stuff that was burned down from that settlement. And that was pretty cool, seeing how worn out the foundation was of that and stuff. But other than that, the Virginia part, okay, I'm not gonna lie, was not that fun. It was more until we got to DC, we started to have a lot of fun. And so after the 3 days, we actually headed to DC to basically start our DC part of the trip, and we stayed there for the rest of the 5 days of the trip. And right off the bat, we just start visiting everything. I think in our first day there, we arrived at about 2 o'clock. It was about a 2-hour drive from Virginia. And, we just started right there. We started visiting museums. We probably visited about 4 or 5 museums and 1 monument in about 6 hours. which, you know, is pretty crazy. We were like running on having only an hour to visit every museum. And, you know, we did that for about 3 days. Then, on the last part of the trip, we started to visit some of the more interesting parts of Washington, D.C., such as, like, all the historic monuments, such as the Lincoln Memorial, the Washington Monument. We took pictures of the White House. We never got to go in the White House, but we did take pictures, and that was also, you know, just fun to see it in general. You know, you don't even have to go in. It's just an amazing sight to see. And we also visited a ton of military service memorials, and we also visited a lot of war memorials, such as the Korean War, World War II, World War I, you know, all those war memorials. But I have to say, the highlight of the trip for me, you know, is typical of what a 13-year-old should say about their highlight of the trip, since, you know, like, sometimes you get kind of bored of the museums and stuff, but if you don't know, in Washington, D.C., there is a mall that is about 5 stories high of an apartment building, and, you know, as soon as we walked in, that was crazy, man. It like, some of the malls you walk into near your hometown, you think they're big. No, no, no. This museum is about probably 10 times bigger than any museum. Or, sorry, I said museum the whole time, didn't I? I meant mall. The mall, man. That mall was huge in DC. It was about 5 stories high, and there was so many stores there. I'll probably put an estimate that there was about maybe 150, maybe 100 stores there, including, you know, the little stands where they have Dippin' Dots and all those. And there was probably about, maybe not 150, but about 100, you know, awesome stores there. And, you know, you guys know that I am a Miami Heat fan, and I bought a nice hat that said, you know, Miami Heat, so a snapback hat, so it was like, it was an old, like, one of the throwback ones, and I got one, and then on the back, you can all guess my phrase, I put haters gonna hate, because the Heat receive a ton of hate, but, you know, it's funny, the store clerk actually was like, he said haters going to hate, he stitched haters going to hate on the back, and I was like, come on, man, you gotta stitch haters gonna hate. That's the cool thing about that phrase. When you walk up to your friends, or you say that phrase, you don't say haters going to hate, you say haters gonna hate, so I was kind of disappointed about that. But anyway, we went to some other stores too, like the electronic stores. There was basically like a Best Buy, no, not a Best Buy, there was a Sony store, GameStop, Bose, any electronic store you could imagine in there. And I ended up buying a new PS3 controller. It's white, it's a pretty nice controller. And so that basically wraps up what we did on our DC trip. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did enjoy the video, I recommend you subscribe, leave a like, rate, or a comment. Thanks for watching.